Hi guys, it's Alicia again, and today I'm going to talk about how to get started in the business. People ask me this all the time, and so I have a few things to say about that. First of all, before you can get an agent, go on an audition, become famous, whatever it is that you have in your mind that is the first thing that you need to do to start becoming a professional actor, you've got to train. You've got to take classes and lessons and work at it. I mean, you wouldn't expect to be running in a marathon if you hadn't prepared and practiced running and built up to it. You wouldn't expect to perform in your ballet recital if you hadn't gone to all your dance classes and your rehearsals for the performance. And you wouldn't expect to play under the Friday night lights if you didn't, attend your football practices all week and all season. So just like anything else, acting requires a lot of practice. And so you want to start your training process first. Agents are going to be looking to see if you've been training and working at this before they're going to sign you. I promise you, they're going to want to see that you have headshots. They're going to see a resume. Even if it's a small resume, they're just going to want to see that you care and that you're getting involved and that you're making an effort to take this seriously. Guys, I want you to remember that this is a business, and I know that a lot of people do this as a hobby, and a lot of people start doing this and think that they want to become famous, but ultimately this is a business. And so the agents and the casting directors and the producers and the directors, they're all taking this very, very seriously, and so they expect you to do the same if you want to work on that level. So the first thing that you want to do is find a place where you can train. So, if you're in a big city, certainly seek out a place where you can take classes or find a private coach that you can work with to help you. And, I want you to be really careful of scams. You want to be really, really aware of anybody that tells you that you have to pay money to get representation. You will never, ever, ever have to pay money to get an agent to represent you. You will pay money for classes. You'll pay money for a private coach. You'll pay money for headshots. You'll pay money for, all sorts of things that help you, like traveling to an audition if it's in another city, or a callback that's in another city. But you don't ever have to pay for representation. Eventually, once you get an agent and you book a job, then your agent gets a percentage of the job that you book. But that's later on down the line. So here in the beginning, find just a reputable school, a reputable training facility where you can go and take classes. I think a combination of group classes and private coaching is the most effective, because I think it's really beneficial to be able to work with other students and other actors and be on camera with them, and have the acting coach be able to just watch you and give you both tips, and then you get to also work with actors that are on different levels. You might get to work with an actor that's really amazing and they can really help you rise to the occasion, and then you can also work with an actor that might be not as great as you are, but that can help you as well. You might go into an audition at some point and have a reader that's just reading off the page and not giving you much, and so you need to be able to adapt to different situations. And then a private coach is going to be able to really hone in on your specific strengths and weaknesses and really spend time working with you one-on-one, which, obviously is extremely beneficial. But let's say that you live in a town that doesn't really have any acting schools or private coaches available, and you're trying to figure out how you can get better right now. So, I would recommend, reading and getting your hands on everything that you can. We've got great books out there, great resources. A couple books that I recommend: Respect for Acting by Uta Hagen is a really great book. It starts to kind of take the Stanislavski theories, and Stanislavski, for those of you who don't know, we call him the father of modern drama. He kind of laid the foundation for method acting, if you've ever heard of that. And it's using your own private experiences throughout life to help inform your acting. So Uta Hagen's Respect for Acting is a great book. I also recommend A Practical Handbook for the Actor. That's another really good one. Audition by Michael Shurtleff is a great book for getting started in the business. So there's lots of great books out there. Go online, look for things, go to your local bookstore. There's plenty of things that you can read. You can go online and Google articles, and even now there's amazing actors that are doing master classes online. So you've got the whole world at your fingertips anymore. So there's no excuse to not be able to research and read as much as you can to learn about it. But then you want to start practicing it. So I recommend, downloading, copying scripts. Maybe there's a commercial on TV that you really like, copy it down and practice the commercial, right? Download, you can go on scriptdb.com and you can find all these different screenplays where you can start practicing scenes from different things. So I use that website all the time to pull scenes for my students for classes. Practice with your friends, practice with your family. It is important to practice out loud because, guys, we all are perfect in our heads. We all say everything perfectly and we do everything perfectly. And I promise you, when you start practicing out loud, it's going to be a totally different experience. So make sure that you are practicing out loud with someone and record yourself, okay? I promise you, none of us like to watch ourselves back. It's pretty difficult. But the more that you watch yourself back, the better you're going to get, because you're going to watch yourself and you're going to go, oh my God, I can't believe that I do that weird thing with my mouth, or that I looked away 50 times, or I looked up at the sky when I was trying to remember my lines, or all these little actor habits that you do, because I promise that you do them. I do them too. Right? You're going to be able to start seeing that and catching that and correcting that. So I definitely recommend doing those things. Also, after you start practicing and you start getting into this and deciding that, hey, this is really for me, and you live in a small town, maybe look at getting a coach that you can Skype with. Now, be careful with this. Make sure that it's someone that's really reputable, that it's someone that you can trust. And maybe you start by just working on a monologue, something where they can just give you feedback, or they can give you tips and advice, as opposed to doing scene work with you. And find somebody that can maybe help guide you and give you an outsider's perspective on how you're doing. So, those are some things that you can do to get going, to start your training process. Look, the statistics aren't great in terms of being successful monetarily in this business, okay? At one point in time, the SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA statistics said that 97% of the people that are members of SAG make under $20,000 a year. 97%. So my question to you today is, a lot of people have this dream, but are you willing to do the work that it takes to put the time in to actually really get good at it? And then once you're good at it, do you have a thick enough skin that you can take all of the rejection that might come your way, right? And wade through all of that crap because you love doing this. And I want you guys today, as you're thinking about all of this, to really decide if it's worth it. And if it is, then keep coming back, because I'm going to have a lot more great tips. Make sure that you follow me on Facebook. I post stuff on Facebook as well. Like down below, comment if you have any questions. I'll get back to you, and I hope to see you guys soon.